Hi, and welcome back to the Abundantly Creative Podcast. I'm Deborah, and this is a space where we talk about living a more thoughtful, intentional, and abundant life. In small, everyday moments and in the bigger ways, we're learning and growing. This isn't a perfect or polished space by any means. It's just real conversations about life, creativity, home, travel, and everything in between. And today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Okay, raise your hand if you have a pile of boxes in your garage that need to be broken down and put into the recycling bin. Okay, of course, I can't see your hands. Let's all calm down. But you know it's you. And if it's not you, you know somebody off the top of your head right now that is doing that exact thing. I recently wrote a journal entry in the Abundant Bee Journal on Substack about the weight of just in case. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I'm not just thinking about things just in our homes, although that's definitely a part of it. I mean, everything. Let's think about it. The drawers that we don't want to go through because who else does not have a junk drawer in your house somewhere? That drawer that all of the just crap it gets thrown into, and we don't do anything about it. We just keep adding more crap to it, and it's silly. We all need to go through the junk drawer. We all know we need to go through the junk drawer. How about those closets that feel a little too full right now? Realistically, do we need all of those clothes? Probably not. If you're like me, you have bins in your closet from clothes, maybe even as much, I know, hate to admit it, almost 20 years ago, that I'm like, I've lost the weight multiple times and I fit into those clothes before, so let's keep them because they're classic and I can just wear them again. Well, I don't know. I think I need to take a closer look at that. Then we have the boxes that we have moved from room to room, place to place, storage unit to garage, garage to storage unit, without ever really opening them again. Do we even really know what is exactly in those boxes? Because unless you're like me and you're a little sometimes too organized, you probably have not labeled those boxes. It probably says something very generic on the outside, like kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, but you still have zero clue what's in it. Many, many years ago, at the beginning of our marriage, Tom and I had to move, gosh, probably almost 9 times in the first 10 years of our marriage. And so we had a hard rule that if we have not opened the box in 2 moves, we had to open it and we had to get rid of something from it because if we haven't used it in 2 moves, we don't need it. And I don't know about you guys, but when you're starting out in life, your parents are amazing and they are handing you down a lot of things that you may one day need, also fitting into the category of just in case. So, we have learned over the years to get rid of those just in case items if we fully know we don't need it. Guys, there are amazing places out there that are looking for donations. Some of your stuff, to be honest, some of your stuff probably needs to get thrown out. It's funny because as I look and think about what I've been writing about and kind of mulling over with this, I've noticed that it's really easy for me to be ruthless when I'm at work, when I'm dealing with somebody else's room, when I'm helping somebody else pack for a move. I'm I'm horrible. I'm ruthless, you guys. I am like, why do you have this? Why are we packing this? What is going on? I have friends that can attest to probably crying while they were working with me because I was so hard while we were packing. But I knew that if we took those things into their new place that was either just brand new or just too small for the stuff that they had, it was going to cause trouble later on. And so I was trying to have good foresight, Maybe I came across a little too strong, but I also know that this just in case theory that I'm thinking about right now, there's too much emotional weight in it. There's too much connected to it. We look at our items and our things as being these treasured pieces that we hold on to, that as if they have a soul, a being, some sort of emotional weight behind them. Maybe sure somebody gave us something or made us something. I get it, I understand it, but the majority of our items that we keep do not hold those, special sacred places in our heart that we need to be so concerned about that. Now, I don't want to come off too hard, you guys. I'm not that insensitive. I just know that the weight of these things that we hold on to take up not only space in our home, but they take up space in our minds. A great example of that for me recently has been a lot of the projects that I've been doing. So, recently, if you guys have read or watched, I have given away a lot of my furniture projects from furniture flipping over the last few years because, at the beginning of a project, you get very gung ho and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to do this all. And so at the very beginning, I got about 21 pieces of furniture sitting in our garage, which was way too many. And I should have just taken one project at a time, but I was so excited and I thought I had all the time in the world. Well, I did not. And so I finally decided to let go of the last 5 pieces that were literally just sitting in my garage for about 2+ years without being touched. Now they're in great homes of people who have enjoyed working with them and did finish them themselves. So I'm very happy about that. But that actually, for me, was one of the harder decisions of things to let go of because for me, it was time invested. A few of the projects I had started, I was in the middle of them, and unfortunately, life happened and I had to just let it be. Even though I had invested money into it, it wasn't the money aspect, it was the time and the fact that I had been posting about it and the fact that I had been talking about it and dreaming about it, that it was the hardest for me at that time to get rid of. I'm very happy I did. Now that it is all gone and I have that space in the garage to start anew, I'm very happy that decision was made. That was the best decision for me at the time, but it didn't mean that it wasn't easy. And so that's where I want to say it's not that I don't have heart. It's just that I know the hard decisions do need to be made in these moments. And so that actually brought me into some other thoughts I had about this and how it's not just about the objects themselves. It's this quiet voice in the back of our mind that says, what if I need this someday? Again, just in case. And I started to break down where this all started from. And as I looked closer at it, I thought, wow, this is not just me. It's just not anybody else out there. This is generational. And the more and more I'm sitting with that, the more and more I started to realize that this voice in our heads didn't just come from nowhere. Our great grandparents lived through the Depression. Our grandparents lived through world wars. My parents lived through times where they saved everything because they had to. You didn't waste things, you didn't throw things away. You held on to what you had because there was a real possibility that you may not have it again anytime soon. So there's a real psychology behind all of this just in case that we're looking at. What I quickly realized is that when you grow up with that mentality, even if your life financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually looks different, that mindset doesn't just disappear. That mindset is programming with inside of you. And it becomes a part of what you think. It becomes a part of how you deal with situations. So even when things are okay, even when you do have what you need, there's still this underlying feeling of, but what if it changes? What if I need that thing just in case? And so that's where I've been realizing more and more it's not just about stuff. It's about the way we think. It's about the way we hold on to things for security. It's beliefs, it's patterns, ways of living that we never really questioned. Because at the moments they felt wise, they felt responsible. But now I'm starting to wonder how much of this is actually rooted in fear. And to be honest, this is something I'm in the middle of right now. I'm going through my own things and realizing that there's pieces of my life that I've been holding on to that really don't serve me anymore. And it's not easy. Even when I know I don't need something, there's still that hesitation, that pause, that feeling of, well, maybe I should keep it just in case. And I don't think it's about getting rid of everything. I don't think it's about becoming a minimalist or having less just for the sake of it. I think it's about understanding why we hold on to these things in the first place and asking ourselves what actually makes us feel safe. Is it the things or is it something deeper than that? I don't have the perfect answer to this yet. I'm still working through it, still noticing it, and still learning how to let go of things little by little. But I have a feeling I'm not the only one. So I'd love to hear from you and know, is this something you felt too? Is this something you're working through in your own life? Because I think that there's something really powerful about starting to notice the things we've been carrying and gently deciding what we actually want to keep. I think part of why I'm sharing this is not just to talk about it, but to hold myself accountable to actually working through it. And also, if this helps even one of you create a little more space in your home, in your life, in your mind, even that one junk drawer, then I feel like we did something together here. Because that's really what I'm looking for with this podcast, that sense of togetherness and community, and just being real, being honest, so we can start showing up as a better version of ourselves. And I know for me, when I feel like I'm showing up as the best version of who I am, that's when I'm able to serve others in a way that I really want to. Thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me. And if this is the kind of conversation you've been wanting more of, you can follow along and be a part of this space with me. I'd truly love to have you here. I'll talk to you again soon in the next episode.